That is the screen I want to put on.
It's one of those, hey, Ryan, I need a job. I know some tech guys that can do that for you. Who do I write the letter to? But in the game, loading screen now, this is going to be a best-of-3 finals between Point Defense and Blind Pick Banditos. Point Defense on the top half of the map. We have Sauron playing as Yorick, FDru playing as Warwick, MMKH playing as Blitzcrank, ZaberZ playing as a bunny, and Nekrogen playing as Jaximus. Who do we have on the bottom end of the map there, Chobra?
Yeah, for purple side, we have Blind Pick Banditos. We have zimike on Malphite. Talith PA playing Striker Ezreal. Elalya playing Poppy. And who are the other two? Jjaja on Udyr with that awesome transformation skin. And Aparkhurst on Cassiopeia.
There we go. What's going on right there?
There we go.
Get turtle stance, bottom lane, Jjaja, double Dorn, shield, boots, potions. Poppy opening with sheen materials. Not quite going for the straight-up sheen opening that we do see some people do, taking advantage of Poppy's Paragon ability to kind of substitute for the boots of speed for that first fight, and kind of leaning on the sheen in that first encounter and then buying the boots the first time that they have to go back. In this case, going to start with the sheen components first. Get that mana, going to help out in the fight, get a little bit of that AP, but you don't quite get that proc effect, and going to take those speed boots there. Malphite opting for a no magic mantle right off the bat. Now, that's probably because he's got to deal with ZaberZ. ZaberZ is known for playing an AP Teemo, and this means that ZaberZ is going to have a lot of really good poke. There's going to be a lot of mushrooms all over the map, get that poison dot, and Malphite really wants to be able to mitigate that kind of damage. On the opposite end of things, we see Warwick starting with a null magic mantle. Also, ZaberZ, you can see the sorcerer's shoes right there. He wants to get that poke going as quickly as possible, starting off with that pen. We got the tier for MMKH, and everything else being pretty standard outside of that. Boots, pots, prospector's items, maybe a couple prereq materials here or there. But for the most part, you know, that really covers the oddities for items. And off to the running start right now. Teemo is just going to kind of bounce along up to the top of the map right away here, and he's going to be the first one there. I don't know if they're going to fight this intersection or if they're going to go straight up for the tower. They are going to go straight up for the tower. Talith PA fires off the first shot. Aparkhurst fires off the second one, trying to zone them out away from that, getting a little bit of a capture in on that, but not really enough to matter at this point. And Nekrogen jumping right into the fight there, getting hit, putting damage on Elalya, getting that stun, trying to focus her down, but no, Sauron is going to go down first instead. Elalya still seems to be the focused target, and she is going to get killed, and there's immediate revive from her and from Sauron after that exchange. ZaberZ getting chased out of the fight. FDru low on health, going to go up there, pick up that relic. MMKH getting chased away and taken out, and Blind Pick Banditos in an okay spot right now.
Yep, they're still going for the cap. Cassiopeia taking over right away after Ezreal. They will get that cap, and Elalya going right for ZaberZ, but gonna back off. I mean, really worked out for them. Also, that zimike on Malphite hadn't taken much damage during the first encounter at all, so even though the others were low, zimike was able to zone the enemies out while Cassiopeia and Ezreal finished that cap. And now, wow, look at these minions pushing up against Yorick here in bot. Jjaja just pushing relentlessly, is just going to sustain off of the goals and the minions. Jax is now going to come down to assist the Nekrogen, trying to look for the cutoff, going for the counter strike, and then leaps in, gets the stun, is going to just put out some damage here. Can they keep following? The Omen of Pestilence is going to slow Udyr down. Udyr just trying to get away right now, doesn't have Bear Sense, so can't stun and run. Malphite's going to come in to save and kind of stone them off for the time being. So 2v2 Bob. Meanwhile, top there's a chase. MMKH running really low right now. Goes for the uppercut once again to stop them from chasing FDru for the kill.
Yeah, and narrowly getting out of there. A lot of narrow escapes on all ends of the map right now. Sauron and zimike at the bottom right now as Jjaja takes a trip to the summoner platform to heal. Zimike getting caught by Nekrogen chasing right now, but looks like he's going to be okay and going to head right on back to his tower. Nekrogen very active on the map at the moment, just kind of trying to keep his presence known, make Blind Pick Banditos feel a little bit less comfortable about moving out on the map.
Right on. Elalya looking for a possible cutoff onto MMKH here, going for the health relic first, and then is going to come in with the Heroic Charge. Actually just going to put on one auto attack, but realizes is caught now between all three. Heroic charges into Jax to try to get away, but gets pulled right away by Blitzcrank and FDru, jumping right on, and then this giant Teemo is going to show up with that Storm Shield, pick up that kill. Teemo now just bouncing around. That is an actual size bunny now, and putting out some good damage onto the enemy team, taking a lot of dot damage from Cassiopeia though, so some good trades coming out from Cassiopeia. Meanwhile, bot lane, again, Udyr just relentlessly pushing against Yorick, putting out some damage here and there and clearing the minions at the same time with Phoenix Dance, and we're gonna return to top lane.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a standoff on both ends of the map. Whoa, with a grab right there, MMKH pulls the mic off the point, but has to back off shortly thereafter. ZaberZ taking some damage, Poison taken down on him, and there we go. Aparkhurst gets the kill off with the Fang ability. I forget what it's called. Nekrogen jumps in for a stun, trying to take Aparkhurst down. We got the barrage there from Talith PA, but now low on mana, not able to get off those skill shots. They're probably off cooldown. MMKH gets taken down, and Warwick's going to back off there. Blind pick Banditos in a very good spot.
Yep, Blind Pick's just been able to hold on to that point all throughout right now in the game. ZaberZ now picking up the speed shrine, trying to stop Elalya from getting the Storm Shield, but Elaya's going to finish it and get out of there immediately. The windmill is now going to be, continue to be rather, a focus because it is now the objective. We are seeing Warwick and Blitzcrank making their way up top once again.
Over in the middle of the map, Talith PA hanging out in the bushes with his teammates. They're looking for a good opening here to make some move there. However, with this mushroom wisely placed right there, Elalya's going to run right over it. Boop, there you go. Mushroom damage right there. Serves as a ward in a place that has no wards. Gives a very useful effect, especially in that particular bush where it is one singular bush. If you're in one side of it in the right spot, you can see in both sides. And now getting chased away there. ZaberZ is fast enough to outrun Poppy. Not a lot of things are. Phone, I can't take calls right now. I will get to you later. Don't make that noise. And trying to make a move for this point here. Elalya starts the cap, and FDru's going to go ahead and chase her back away from there. But bam! She initiates right on the ZaberZ. ZaberZ getting chased away. He's got an Ignite. True Shot Barrage runs him right over, puts him in the dirt, and there is a double kill for Ezreal right there.
Wow, really, really good play. I mean, Poppy just went right in between everything to single out ZaberZ on that Teemo, push him away, two-shot barrage, picking up the snipe so that Poppy could come right back in to assist with that double kill. Meanwhile, bot lane, we saw Blitzcrank showing up, but not able to really do too much. Udyr and Malphite still able to kind of hold off here. Udyr still running really, really healthy, trading very well with Phoenix Dance, just going heavily into Phoenix Dance, still doesn't have any points in Bear Stance. It's just going to go for a full just offensive pushing build right now with that Phoenix Dance, which means he can even kind of put on the direct damage from that 3-hit passive onto Yorick while pushing out the minions with the AoE. However, Blind Pick right now also got that buff by I'm stuttering, by finishing the objective, and they're all setting up right around this middle brusher. ZaberZ is going to show himself first, and Blitzcrank is going to run him with that Storm Shield. He's huge, but the heroic charge pushes him completely out. His ultimate is only going to hit about 2 to 3 people. The True Shot Barrage coming down isn't going to be enough damage. Elalya is still living with that ultimate, is going to survive. They're going to chase off ZaberZ right now. Oh, the Mystic Shot lands, and then another dot into Twin Fangs. Cassiopeia is going to pick up that kill. They're not going to stop the port from FDru, but they don't care, about the camera control. They're going to go right onto the refinery. Blind Pick just being absolutely dominating this first game.
Yeah, they have been just playing really, really aggressively, kind of dictating the flow of the game. Ezreal just narrowly missed with that skill shot that would have interrupted the recall a moment ago. And Talith PA going to go ahead and take a trip back down at the bottom end of the map. Sauron, on the worst end of the exchanges here with Jjaja. And we got MMKH and Nekrogen heading over to the bottom point. Looks like they're going to cut in behind, but that's going to draw the ire of most of Blind Pick Banditos. You can see them swinging down across the map right now. We got Talith PA and Poppy. Elalya's Poppy coming down here, and Blitzcrank with the Airborne trying to CC Poppy to keep her from being able to deploy just the crazy amount of damage that Poppy is capable of dealing. And they're going to go ahead and back off just a little bit for the moment.
If the Ghost is going to come in to just kind of stop that or disrupt that cap so it stays neutralized, while ZaberZ and FDru are pushing down on the windmill. They're gonna get the kill. Can they neutralize it? The Malphite's gonna show up. ZaberZ is running pretty low in a dangerous spot right now. Blitzcrank is gonna come up right after Talith PA jumps in with that arcane shift. MMKH now just kind of kiting around, seeing what he can set up here for Warwick, and Teemo goes for the grab, almost lands it, leading Ezreal just a little bit. True Shot Barrage is going to miss, a little bit too close quarters. Warwick and Teemo were able to bounce out of there. MMKH taking some tower damage, now being chased down by Malphite, and is completely separated from the rest of his team. So MMKH is going to go for that health relic. They don't want to leave the point though, so Malphite and Cassiopeia FDru promptly returning, putting out a lot of poke damage onto FDru. FDru's just taking so much damage across the wall, and Cassiopeia's going to finish him off. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we see Udyr being taken down by Yorick, and now it's Poppy versus Yorick, but Yorick is looking strong right now.
Yeah, Yorick seems to be in control of this defense right here. That was a very long, drawn-out engagement. I actually got a lot of it on my camera. You can see that in the VOD in the days after the event here. That will be available. You can see some of these fights that you were not quite able to cover all of them at once in the cast. Aparkhurst and Talith PA looks like they are going to secure the refinery. However, at the same time, they are going to trade the drill for it. It looks like Malphite's gotten an ult in there, gets airborne off, but is going to get killed off, but that buys enough time for Elalya to get over here, and it looks like she is not going to kill ZaberZ. Instead, she's going to turn around for MMKH, who was able to secure the point during that engagement, and MMKH goes down, she's going to turn around. ZaberZ is going to be the next one. Double kill for Elalya as she begins to take the point back.
Meanwhile, this kind of reverse chase up here, going to the windmill. Nekrogen and FDru just trying to weave in and out away from sight and trying to go for the windmill. They're going to jump right back in, but that chain crowd control onto Cassiopea, but she turns right around with that scream in their face, survives still a little bit as Ezreal continues to poke across the wall, but he's low on mana right now. He can't continue to fight FDru straight on. He's going to keep putting out damage over the wall and is going to stay safe under his own tower. Meanwhile, Udyr is going to show up to see if he can cut Warwick off. Nope, he's going to just get right out of there. Chobra is going to interrupt Blitzcrank, but it barely misses ZaberZ. ZaberZ is going to continue capping that refinery.
Down at the bottom end of the maps, Elalya and zimike and Jjaja are going to make a move on Sauron. They want their point back at the bottom end of the map there, and we got a stun goes down immediately. Sauron taking a ton of damage there. We got the Garrisons go off on that tower, and Sauron from the Great Beyond now still in the fight for a little while. MMKH doing the best that he can to interrupt things, and he does get that silence off in the airborne on Jjaja as well. There is a creep wave behind this, though. I don't know how long MMKH is going to be able to hold on to this point.
Yep, meanwhile, top lane, Ezreal was taken down. FDru, ZaberZ, and Nekrogen are going to continue capping this point. Jax immediately zoning away Cassiopea so they can cap the windmill. Meanwhile, Elalya and that huge minion wave is going to take back the Boneyard for blind pick, and Udyr went straight for the core, but Blitzcrank, look at that speed. He just runs right up to him, gets the uppercut. Is he going to go for the grab? The grab is going to barely miss, and Jjaja is going to get away for now.
Yep, he is getting chased all the way back across the map to his point. He's going to turn around and smack Blitzcrank, and you know, can go ahead and duck back over to the tower at the top. FDru's going to suppress Aparkhurst and holding him in place long enough for Nekrogen to jump in and get the stun off there. And Aparkhurst is going to go down. Successful defense up at the top lane. However, there's a neutral point bottom and a lot of mess going down around there. Elalya taking some damage, got the ult, drops that right down on Sauron. Jjaja in the fight. MMKH getting pulled away. Talith PA is going to stay behind to try and capture that point. zimike tries to cut around on the back end and back cap, but is not quite able to secure that neutral. Got the airborne goes off from Malphite, grabs Jjaja, pulls him into the fight. ZaberZ goes down. MMKH going to get away for just a moment as ZaberZ's Teemo gets killed. MMKH trying to get that point, but not quite making too much of a headway on there with zimike and Jjaja there. FDru taking a swipe out at Malphite, but Malphite backing off, and now the fight moving towards the middle of the lane.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nekrogen was waiting patiently, saw Talith PA and jumped right onto him with the counter spray, but didn't realize Cassiopea and Poppy were right behind him, got caught in a 3v1, is going to get taken down, and Blind Pick will take back the windmill. Meanwhile, this fight is being extended for quite a period of time. Finally, MMKH will be able to cap that 4E back 4-point defense, but they're a little bit behind right now. They need to continue that momentum they had a little while ago. They were able to catch up quite a bit by holding that 3 cap. Now they're met with Malphite, but look at his health. He's just getting bursted down. Yorick immediately going for the tower. He's camping quite a bit. A lot of crowd control coming down onto Malphite. Chobra is going to come down, but they hadn't started channeling yet, so they're going to be able to at least neutralize Warwick, just trying to zone away Ezreal, and is successful. Poppy running in as fast as she can, but Jax, being smart, takes off the tower right away so that Yorick can finish that cap. They're going to get that buff from the objective this time around, and it's a 3 cap once again in favor of point defense.
Off to a rough start at the beginning, but they're now turning it around and doing an okay job at this point in the game. Jjaja living for a very, very long time in the engagement prior to this, and now back in the fight once again. Him and zimike take on FDru and Sauron. and things not seem to be going so well for Jjaja at the moment. Down at half hit points even after recently coming back. Elalya going to cut in behind here, going to try and neutral this point, but is not going to be able to do so. Nekrogen jumps in, got the counterattack, got the exhaust, lots of bad things. Elalya throws down the ultimate there, but I don't think it's going to go too well, especially with Warwick nearby in the event of having to turn around and help there. A True Shot Barrage comes down, but it's a little bit too late to be able to do anything. Some poor bastard's got his house just annihilated right now from that coming down the street. You know, insurance rates out here are probably insane. Wouldn't want to live in this neighborhood. Nekrogen catches zimike over by the Speed Shrine, puts down a stun on him, but zimike turns around and is like, I'm a rock, I'm going to hit you anyway. Damage being exchanged for both them. And Cassiopeia coming up to the fight now, and Nekrogen now going to have to retreat. And no, jumps over around to the other side, tries to dodge out, but doesn't quite go so well. Is going to get picked off there, and ZaberZ Teemo just got some mushrooms down, hanging out, kind of around, ready to engage at a moment's notice. At the bottom end of the map, Elalya is going to chase FDru away from the point as Jjaja sits behind to cap. Aparkhurst tries to make a move for the top, and ZaberZ is going to go up and intercept and just does a ton of damage, one shot right after another. That AP build certainly having a lot of effect in the game so far. MMKH goes up, dives in to get Cassiopeia and is able to kill her, grabs Talith PA, but Talith PA arcane shifts away from him in order to avoid the damage. ZaberZ still hanging out, but Malphite walks up and is like, no ZaberZ, you can't do that, I'm a rock.
Yep, meanwhile in bot lane, it's 2v1 once again. Sauron and FDru teaming up against Jjaja. They just don't want to deal with this Udyr anymore. They're focusing so much on the Boneyard right now. There's just so much action. They're going to start neutralizing it. And Jjaja comes right back up with that revive. Meanwhile, top lane, there's a lot of fighting going on. Blitzcrank picked up that kill on Ezreal, but bot lane Jjaja did get the interrupt. There was no neutralizing, and Elalya is going to come right back up to assist in defending that point. Top lane, MMKH is running pretty safe now. It just gets shrunken after that Storm Shield runs out. But Talith PA catches Nekrogen right here. Talith PA has the advantage right now. He's going to continue chasing with that aggressive arcane shift. Cassiopeia coming along to help with this chase, but she's going to branch off to push out the minions so they can cap this point a little bit easier. But Blitzcrank with that speed buff is going to get here fairly soon. Can they get the neutralize? No, the counter strike leap strike combo is going to stop them. The scream is only going to get Blitzcrank, so Jax is safe for now, goes right back in with him, power leap strike, and goes away once again at a healthy health. But Talith PA is going to pick up that kill onto Blitzcrank, and they're going to be able to recap the win.
Is going to put themselves in a good spot now that they have 3 points again, no longer ticking down. 195 points for blind pick Banditos and 164 and going down 4-point defense. ZaberZ hanging around up at the top end of the map, no doubt just waiting for his teammates to get caught back up with him. You can see the mushroom placement in very strategic locations throughout the map, using them as more wards, I would say, than offensively, because knowing that people travel through them, they are going to land hits anyway, and they do provide vision in very, very vital spots across the map. And MMKH actually moves faster than I can scroll my map. I keep losing him.
Yep, MMKH is super fast right now. He's actually going for a semi-Dunk Master build with those move speed 5 boots and then 2 Zeals, so just speeding across. I had to say I was a little skeptical about that speed earlier. 2 Sharp Barrage goes down, but meanwhile, Elalya was taken down in a 3v1 catch. Nekrogen running a bit low, but is going to get out of the fight for the time being. Talith PA actually chases through, but was exhausted, didn't have the damage yet. He's blinded right now, and Nekrogen walks right around him. ZaberZ is going to get taken down, but the Leaf Strike back in is going to finish off Cassiopeia. FDru going right for the windmill. It gets just 1 minion for that extra gold and is going to cap this point once again for point defense. Meanwhile, Drill was captured by Blitzcrank. Jjaja now trying to clear off the wave, but Blitzcrank is going to come in. MMKH is going to try to pressure this, tries to go start the cap as Sauron comes back up from the health relic. It's a 2v2, but Blitzcrank actually going right back to the Drill to stop that cap, so Elalya and Jjaja catch Sauron in a bad place, is running pretty low. They look like they're going to commit to the chase for the time being. MMKH taking a lot of damage and being chased down by all this burst damage, and CC coming out from Malphite and Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia leaving it to Malphite to chase, but actually MMKH is going to get away, and Ezreal is going to help cap the Drill as Malphite and Cassiopeia head straight for the windmill once again.
That chalice there, Athene's Unholy Grail. Newer item in the game, very, very good for the build that he's going. He's just kiting Jjaja little bit by right now, and really chipping away his health down at the bottom there. Elalya did get taken down and had to, you know, take a trip back, but at the top end of the map, Aparkhurst and FDru both low on health, and it looks like FDru's going to go down, but Aparkhurst still alive, still able to deliver that damage. MMKH trying to defend 1v3 up at the top, not quite able to do so, though he does get Cassiopeia in the exchange, and there is no one nearby to stop this. Blind Pick Banditos is going to pick up the windmill once again, but the bottom's still a point of contention as Elalya tries to duke it out with Sauron. And, you know, sometimes Sauron seems to have the upper hand in this matchup, sometimes Elalya seems to have the upper hand in this matchup. It seems to go really back and forth every time those two encounter each other. And with Sauron down, no one close at all, Blind Pick Banditos is going to pick up the bottom point again. Malphite's up near the top. He might be able to get up and intercept the top point and get an interrupt on that and hold that for a little while. And it's going to be interesting to see where is point defense going to go from here. It looks like they're swinging up towards the top. Right now it's undefended. I think that's the best move that they can make, considering that the most of Blind Pick Banditos is on the wrong end of the map for this. And they're heading up to the top. We got the suppress goes off. Aparkhurst taking a ton of damage, caught between all sorts of disables. But now that that static field is on cooldown, the True Shot Barrage goes down from Ezreal as he tries to get damage in on ZaberZ, knowing how dangerous ZaberZ can be. And ZaberZ, oh, walk on the mushroom Talith. No, don't do it. That's a lot. He's dead. That was
oh
bad.
Wow, that's
Ouch.
so much damage and so much slow coming down on Ezreal. They're also going to be able to pick up zimike while that was happening. Jax was able to cap the windmill. Meanwhile, Sauron just trying to pressure these guys out. I think he's in his revived form based on the graphics there, so he's going to be taking that. Also, the minion's going to help push that. Elalya going to survive with so little health, but Warwick's here. Elalya needs to get out. He is going to get ulted on right away, and Warwick does stop the neutralize. The minions are gone. FDru is going to just keep it on Jjaja, but the minions are here. The tower is going to get taken. FDru now taking some tower damage. Garrison going down on the tower. Jjaja still surviving for just a little bit longer, but ZaberZ is going to come and assist with that. Meanwhile, MMKH gets taken away after capping the drill. The drill is going to be taken back for Blind Pick Banditos. This game is super close. Both teams just trading 3 caps back and forth. Currently, it is point defense with a slight lead, but it could go anywhere right now. Jjaja still on the run. Warwick running with that speed boost that he gets from Blood Scent is going to start capping this, and Jjaja knows he has to just back off, but Poppy is here to stop it. That tower is going to stay in Blind Pick's favor a little bit. Meanwhile, top lane, a huge fight going down. Top PA takes so much damage, especially from the tower. Is going to cleanse. Oh, but that ultimate cross while coming out from MMKH. Unstoppable Force just trying to stay alive a little bit longer by zimike, but look at that position once again by MMKH pulling him into the tower.
Down at the bottom end of the map, point defense has also had a victory there as well. Aparkhurst and Jjaja coming down, but they're not quite able to interrupt the cap as Sauron's in a very good spot to avoid any of the damage and able to finish that off. And now it is 4 caps to 1 in favor of point defense. Point defense doing a good job of coming back from a pretty significant deficit earlier on in the game, and now they are leading 99 points to 39 and counting down for Blind Pick Banditos as the engagement continues. Bottom, Yorick gets taken out, but Yorick's ultimate is up and active right now. ZaberZ is taking a bunch of damage as he tries to fight with Malphite. Not quite the best target, I think, for ZaberZ's damage right there. Jjaja is still living and living and living. Udyr with that turtle stance and that durability that we've seen him be building. It looks like they might be able to gain control over this bottom point, but if they're going to do it, they're going to need to do it quickly, and they're also going to need to have to make a play up top, and they might be in a spot to do that. Elalya is really low on health. Just going to take one swipe from FDru to take her down, and that's exactly what happens there. Talith PA has got to win this engagement.
Yep, he doesn't have much time though. It's ticking down. He's not going to be able to cap it, and the victory for game 1 is going to go to point defense on the blue side.
Very close game at several points there, but near the end of it, point defense was sort of able to sweep back into things, get momentum rolling, and take the game back.